I didn't answer the question of whether one should go to a guru or therapist or both. And I guess if I'm pressed for an answer, which I think it's reasonable to press me for an answer, I would say both. But it depends on what you find. And I believe that if a guru or a therapist doesn't have a methodology for looking at their shadow, they may not be ideal. And that is why the Enneagram, for me, is a great system. It's painful. If you're using it correctly, it's painful to see how your mind and your identity is, and therefore you, if you identify as your mind and your identity, is trapped in this reflexive way of being. And we can link this very loosely to the tree of life. So if you don't know the Enneagram, you can research it. There are better sources than I'm going to be. But Enneagram 1, that's the truth. The belief that you can't allow any impurity is what happens when you're fixated. In Sphere 1, impurities are all pure, right? There's no distinction. But as an Enneagram 1, then you're misinterpreting Sphere 1, in my opinion. Sphere 2, that's that creative impulse that allows Sphere 1 to emanate. Sphere 2 is that creative impulse that allows Sphere 1 to emanate. And what is a creative, ingenious personality construct of Enneagram 2 is to deny yourself, deny what you need, and just gravitate to anyone who needs you. It is a great imitation of Sphere 1 moving to Sphere 2. And also it's tragic because that's not a way to live. You don't have boundaries, you don't understand what your values are. And eventually you're going to go resentful and go to Enneagram 8 in anger. But anyway, so each of these Enneagram fixations is an attempt to, in my opinion, to embody these spheres but misunderstanding what they actually are, because the mind is all conditional and into separation and polarity. Anyway, you can go right down the whole thing. I'll just do it quickly. So for Sphere 3, the understanding is if I am seen as successful, like God is successful, then I will be fine. I will get that maternal gaze I crave. Sphere 4, that's the purpose. And usually it's an artistic purpose for a person who's Enneagram 4. But also there's an understanding, an ingenious understanding that, oh, it's about the tragedy, about appreciating my uniqueness due to the tragedy. That's what will make me mean something or give me purpose. And so that's why it's ingenious, but also it's tragic, because then you're actually wanting to be miserable, because that's what fuels your art and your uniqueness. Sphere 5 is like, okay, we need to put some limits on this. We need to get information. Sphere 6 is like, I'm confused, analysis paralysis, but that's the way to balance. Sphere 7, don't tie me down, I'm a music man, no obligations. That's the free child manifesting, breaking away from the group, resisting the group. Then Sphere 8, nobody's going to control me, no one will have power over me. I will align myself with a powerful system and have power within that system. That's the misunderstanding about Sphere 8. And then 9, just use your imagination, pretend everything's okay. Pretend you're peaceful. And then we come to Sphere 10, which is manifestation. If you are versed in the Karmic Drama Triangle, and you know, a therapist or a guru will know, hey, I'm trying to rescue this person, or I feel like I'm a victim to this person, or this person is labeling that situation or person or me as the persecutor, and we're just stuck in the Karmic Drama Triangle. And for me, all these systems point us to the 3 vows, which then point us to the CTRB chart. The 3 vows, oh gosh, I am wanting to be desired, or wanting to quench my desires, chastity. Oh, I want to not be impoverished, weak, not powerful, poverty. And these point us to the obedience, which we define as Aum, call, trial, return, spring, summer, fall. To humbly accept not knowing. If you do that, man, you're at peace. Because then you won't go through the trial. What is the trial about? The trial is to make this moment about this moment. But if you think that you know whether things are good or bad, or you are good or bad, or you think you must know, as per the four quadrant grid, then unhappiness prevails. And finally, acceptance. Unconditional self-acceptance, unconditional positive self-regard. With that, then you can easily make this moment about this moment. You can appreciate not knowing.